Being a stylist has never been more rewarding, but it's also never been so complex. As hairstylists, we often forget that we are working in a multi-billion-dollar industry. The beauty industry is growing faster than ever, and there's so much left on the table because stylists aren't taking the time to understand business. I'm Melissa, your host. I'm a $1 million salon owner, a six-figure stylist, and founder and CEO of Sierra and Sage Extensions. And I'm here to help you understand how to bring business to beauty.
Welcome back to our wonderful podcast. I have a new guest with me today. You may or may not already know who she is. This is Kenzie. She's actually our director of education. So if you want to say hello.
Hi, guys.
Today we're actually going to be going over quite a few different aspects. Kenzie obviously works in the salon full-time still, so she's behind the chair 4 days a week. She is a super successful six-figure stylist, so we are kind of going to talk about her journey to getting there. She also works with assistants, so we're kind of going to talk about that as well, and just share a little bit of like the daily salon life of a six-figure stylist.
Yay,
so.
I'm so excited.
Awesome. So I always like to start out just by kind of talking about your journey, so kind of where you started out in the industry.
Yeah, so I went to beauty school. Well, I've been in Reno now for like 15 years. So about 10 years ago, I went to beauty school, graduated from beauty school. I went and worked at a salon for a little bit in one of the casinos here, which was not for the faint of heart. There's like no windows in those places, and it's really a scary place to work. I don't recommend that to anyone ever. Yeah. But then I actually got hired at Atelier as Melissa's associate, and that was now like almost 8 years ago.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
I know, it's so long ago. But I've been with Atelier since then, with Sierra and Sage since we were founded in 2020. And now I have my own assistants at the salon, and I'm a level 6 stylist. And yeah, it's crazy. Time just like flew by.
Yeah, definitely. So just to kind of touch on that over at Atelier, for those of you guys who don't know, so Atelier Beauty Bar is the salon that I own here in Reno. It's actually in the same building that we're in right now. But we are a fully commissioned salon. And so I really love to touch on that because obviously I feel like there's a lot of like bad juju around commissioned salons in a lot of ways.
We get a bad rep for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that like a lot of stylists in the industry think that it's impossible to actually like hit six-figure take home in a commissioned salon. So being that you're like a testament to the fact that that is totally possible, what do you have to share about that? Or like, what are your thoughts on working commission, I guess?
So I feel like there definitely is a stigma against commission salons. I feel like a lot of times you are told in beauty school and beyond that the ultimate goal is to like run your own business and booth rent and this and that. And I even remember my first interview with Jen actually for Atelier that she was asking me like, do you want to own a salon? And I remember literally saying yes to her because I thought that's what she wanted to hear. Obviously that makes no sense now thinking about it because I'm applying at her salon. Yeah. But like it just seemed like that was like the motivation you would want from somebody.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like that was the ultimate goal for a lot of people. Even my parents who have nothing to do with the industry at all, my dad was always like, when are you opening your salon? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like the more I worked at a well-established salon that really has it figured out and really cares about their employees, the more I was like, why would I do that and A, start over, B, like I just have so many things taken care of for me, and there's always room to grow with the way you guys have it set up. Like you said, our system is set up for me to always have like newer goals to hit. So it makes it really worth it for me because one, like you said, I can always make more. Two, I just love the like family environment. I'm obviously talkative. I'm outgoing. I could never just like work in a suite alone.
Yeah,
like
no.
I would
I feel like
unhappy.
you would die like a slow painful
I would.
death.
My clients would like hate me over time because I wouldn't leave. Like now I leave them alone a little bit.
Yeah, right.
I'm like I would never leave them alone. And
so
even
true.
I love to be around all of them, but I'm like, if I had like nowhere to go, I'm just sitting there while they're like, I don't know. The whole setup of it, it's such a family vibe over at the salon, and it's just like the front desk makes my schedule what it is so that I can come in, work, and I can go home and like have a really good work-life balance that you've always pushed. That's so important. And I feel like the fact that I've been able to like level up to this point and still have such a healthy work-life balance. Like I just bought a house too. And I feel like I'm so lucky to be able to do that because I don't think I'd be able to be doing all of that if I was running a whole business, doing all the numbers behind the scenes and like all of the things that it takes to run a business on your own.
It's so funny because I do like shove work-life balance down everyone's throats. I feel like both at Sierra and Sage and at the salon. And I feel like that's the thing that took me the longest to like adopt for myself in my own life.
Totally.
Because I was the one obviously doing all of the things for you guys that allowed you guys to have the work-life balance. And then
Also,
I was
your
like,
balance
okay.
beam is a little heavier.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. But then I realized too, like in order for me to like adopt that same philosophy into my life, I had to have help,
Totally.
you know? And so it's kind of funny, kind of like you behind the chair, do you feel like having extra hands and like having an assistant really attributes to like your success behind the chair and your ability to like hit those numbers?
Totally. Definitely, not only just because of like logistics, like I can just take way more clients in a day because I have the associates, but it's also cool because my clients have their own relationship with my associates after a certain point. Like I have some clients of yours that I've adopted from you, like moving forward, and now I'm having clients that like if I'm leveling out of their budget or their schedule even, then they now have a relationship with my previous associates and they can go with them, or like they feel comfortable having one-on-one time with them so I can step away and do another client.
Yeah.
And it's also just really rewarding because I bring myself back to the time that I was your assistant and how much like I grew so fast without even realizing kind of what was happening in the moment, because I was just so excited to be there and to be doing it.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. It's funny because I think a lot of people, I mean, like a lot of stylists take on assistants, but I feel like they don't like fully invest into them the way that we do. Like, I think a lot of times people take on an assistant and they're more so like going into the assistantship, if that's what you call it, or the apprenticeship, whatever. And they're kind of looking at it as like, how can I benefit from this?
Totally.
Versus like, how can I make this like mutually beneficial?
Yeah.
So when you're working with your assistant, how do you create like that, I guess, like that mutual beneficial relationship with them to where you're like really becoming their mentor and really helping them grow as a stylist?
Totally. Well, first of all, I feel like a main thing I see all the time is that a lot of these assistants are not even like touching a client's head until like 6+ months into the program. I think that's crazy. I think that if you're at a point in your career that you're able to have associates, you have a stacked clientele, you have a lot of loyal clients, then for me, there's no reason why you shouldn't let them, I hate to say this, but like experiment on your clients to a point, because you should be able to fix anything. You should be able to keep your client comfortable with the whole thing. And you should be able to walk your associate or your assistant through each step that you're doing. But I feel like really letting them imagine your client as their client. Like I try not to tell them what I'm about to do and like, hey, you're doing this, I'm doing this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, so what are we doing?
Yeah.
Because like, if they have a client in their chair, sit there right there, they have to go in the back and figure out like, okay, what step are we doing? So I'm making sure we're on the same page with like what placement we're doing, what this and that, and just all the things, and make sure like they kind of feel like they're making the decisions along the way. And if it goes wrong, I mean, if it's super wrong, I'll be like, okay, no, but I'll explain that and we'll go forward in that way. But just really kind of putting it into their hands more, where I feel like I see a lot of assistant programs where like their job is to like hold the foil for you while you paint it. Like you can only watch a foil up front and center so many times before you just have to do it. Like our job is so hands-on, you really just have to do it.
Yeah, that part always makes me laugh. Like, no shade to other stylists, do your thing, do what works for you. But every time I see those videos on social media of like somebody's assistant just like holding their foil, I'm like, okay, what are they gaining from that really? And I feel like that's so like demeaning to them. I don't know. Like, you're not good enough to do anything but hold this foil and sweep my hair.
Totally.
That's just like wild to me. And to me, I think it's even crazier, and maybe it says a lot about the stylist who's willing to take that position and stay in it. But I'm just like, it seems like such a waste of time to me.
I agree.
I feel like that's the big difference, kind of like you said, is like getting them into that creative process and like that creative thinking of like, okay, what should we do? How should we achieve this? I think that's really ultimately like what builds confidence and makes them ready to go behind the chair.
Totally.
Versus like doing your bitch work, for lack of a better term.
And don't get me wrong, they do my bitch work.
Yeah,
like
right.
It is gonna happen. Like they're gonna have to do that. My assistants are sweeping, they're cleaning, they are handing me foils at times. Like if I'm only doing a little accent highlight around the face, like I'm not gonna have him do 2 of them and then I'm gonna do 2. You know what I mean? So like he is handing them, but those are the times where it's really important that he's watching my placement, he's watching my speed, he's asking questions. Or sometimes in those moments, if I'm literally just applying something really simple, go send them on a doll head or do something, because a question will pop up, a problem will pop up for them to then solve later.
For sure. I think that's another thing kind of to talk about as well, is like, what do you do, or what is your thought process when you're like going into taking on an assistant? Like, do you go into that with like a goal of like, I want this person to like work out and do so well that they eventually are working alongside me and getting a chair in this salon? Or like, what is your thought process kind of going into that?
Yeah, so I feel like I've come a long way with that, honestly, because we were just talking about this. I think I'm on my like 8th assistant now, which is crazy. But I feel like I said, I feel like I've grown in that sense because when I first was getting assistants, I feel like I really was like, that was me. Like, that's me. And they deserve success automatically. Like, I'm going to help them. They're going to do this, whatever. And I was really, really disheartened if it didn't work out or if I felt like they weren't getting it or honestly, if they just didn't have the motivation that I felt like I had. Like, I'd be like, I was more frustrated almost at myself and I was like trying to fix it myself. And now that I've had enough people come and go and I've like learned a lot more personalities and like just types of stylists and people that there are out there, I realized that you like can't want it for them more than they want it.
Yeah.
And now that I've had successful associates also, I'm like, I know that exists. I know, I'm like I said, I go back to myself and how excited I was to do it and how motivated I was and everything about that. And I think that yes, obviously my goal is to have them working alongside me, able to like take clients eventually that like maybe aren't coming to me anymore or can't get into my schedule, whatever. Yep. But really the goal is just to figure out what they want for themselves. Like if that's not their goal, then it's not mine, you know?
Definitely. And then, so kind of just touching on that. So like you just said, you are on your 8th assistant. And as of right now, obviously, you know, you've worked in the salon for that span of time. And as of right now, only one of those 8 assistants is currently working in the salon because the rest have actually been let go.
Yeah.
Right. For various reasons.
Totally.
So you kind of touched on it already, but like how that kind of hits you personally. How did you kind of overcome that? I actually just had a conversation with one of the other girls in the salon who's currently just starting out with assistants, and she's kind of struggling a little bit with like taking that personal and like, you know, when somebody that you're kind of taking under your wing and you're considering yourself their mentor and they're not doing well, it's hard not to take that personal and like, what did I do wrong? Totally. Right. So like, how did you, I feel like at this point you've completely overcome that. And if it's like this person doesn't work out, you fully just like immediately accept it.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, how did you like overcome that struggle?
Totally. Well, like I said, it was really hard at first. I also feel like I'm a super empathetic person. So I like the first time you let one of my assistants go, I like ran and hid and cried. Like I was really stressed out about it because I was like, I don't know how to handle it, what to do, even though I ultimately fully agreed with the decision. Like that's what needed to happen. Yeah. But it really comes back to what I said. Like you can't want it for them more than they want it. I know how badly I wanted it and what I did to get to where I am. And it's like, I have all of those tools to give you and to share with you. And I have all of that information that can be so beneficial to someone. And if you're not going to take it and run with it, then I can't run for you kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I will say, as far as overcoming like the feelings of it, I won't lie, having a stylist or having an assistant succeed and go onto the floor does help because it does kind of give you that confidence boost of like, okay, it isn't me. Like they fully are capable of doing it. Like my last assistant is about to come back from maternity leave with like a stacked schedule already. And that's so exciting to see. And honestly, that's motivating in itself. But I think over time too, it's easier for you to kind of pinpoint like what is a quality that's going to work out in an assistant and what some of them won't. Like, really, I think it just comes down to like the self-discipline and the motivation behind all of it.
Right. I think that's the hard part too when you're working with an assistant, like in a salon setting like ours, is like yes, you're looking for an assistant who you work well with like as an individual, right? Because you're working side by side with them every day. They're helping you achieve your goals. They're helping make your clients happy. But as the salon owner in that situation, I'm also looking at that person like, are they going to fit in with this team? Is this somebody that I want to have a chair in this salon? And so I think sometimes there's like a disconnect between me as the salon owner and what I'm looking for, and then like you as the stylist and what you're looking for. Like sometimes that doesn't match up 100%. You know?
But I think in a commission salon, that's what's important is like I said, I wouldn't work at your salon if I didn't fully trust how you are running it. Like you clearly have set up a really successful business here and like have the whole setup, and basically like all of the other employees that you've hired are like my family now. So it's like we all have come to the point of like just fully trusting you guys on who is a good fit and who's not, because over time it's just been correct. Like that just is what it is, and I know you know best for that. And I do feel like over time I'm getting a grasp on it kind of thing. Like I'm not just trying to hire people that I'm like, oh my God, she's so cool and I could totally be her friend, but I'm also not gonna hire people that I am like completely, I'm like, oh well, they might be a good stylist, but like they wouldn't fit in at our salon at all. Like that is a thing.
And honestly, I feel like that's a topic for another podcast entirely is like hiring the right people, keeping the right people, when to fire the wrong people, how to like identify the wrong people. Because that is so huge. And I do feel like that attributes so much to the success of like the salon and all the stylists that are working there. Because I do feel like, I'm not going to say we're a no drama environment because that's just not real life. There's always a little bit of drama, especially in the salon world.
But for like 30 women in a building,
yeah, it's pretty
low-key.
minimal. Yeah, it's pretty minimal. And I do think that that is because of those hiring decisions and the, you know, the difficult decisions we make when it comes to firing people. And it's hard because sometimes you fire somebody that you're like, you know what, you're really a nice person and I hate to do this to you. But it's just not a good fit and I can't ignore that, you know?
And frankly, we've had situations where like it's gotten to a point and we're like, okay, we have to let this person go or this and this, whatever. And if they're super quick to be like, okay, yeah, I agree, like, bye, then it's like, okay, cool, we made the right decision.
Yeah.
And we've had a time or two where someone is like, let me show you, let me do this, whatever. And it's like, if you're showing that motivation, then I just feel like that makes a huge difference in the salon. And it's kind of crazy how many people are just like, yeah, it's fine, this is just a fun. Because I think it's hard because in our industry specifically, it's just fun. Like, it's just a fun-ass industry, and we have a good time, and I'm, like, having a great time with my clients, and I'm having a great time with my coworkers. Like, it's all just fun, and we're doing each other's hair. Like, I get that, but it's really, you just have to find a way to mesh business and fun with it together to make sure that you're still successful, because I feel like it's really easy to get carried away and just be like, okay, I'm just here hanging out.
Yeah, definitely. And then the last thing I kind of wanted to talk to you about, because I feel like you do it so well. I feel like in the salon, a lot of people, like what your coworkers say about you behind your back, so to speak, it's not bad. She's like, what? It's not bad, but a lot of people say
with Sierra and Sage now.
A lot of people say that you make it look easy. Like, she makes it look so easy. But I do feel like it is because of that foundation that you've built and like the good habits that you've built and the consistency with those habits. So kind of touching on that, like you are consistent with your service dollar, right? You're doing a ton of high dollar services all the time. I feel like you've completely cut out any low end services, right? Like, you're not doing men's cuts, you're not doing haircut only appointments, you're not doing blowouts, you're not doing anything like that. You're strictly doing high dollar services. You're also consistently retailing high end product like Orbe and Kerastase, and then you're also consistently rebooking at like 80 to 90%. So in short, like, you're getting your clients to say yes to all of these things. How are you doing that? Or like, how did you get to that point, I guess?
Totally. So, I mean, a lot of it, I will say, just comes with building trust from your clients. Like, I have a lot of my clientele, I feel like I've been seeing for at least 5 years. Like, I have a loyal clientele base. But what's cool is that I still notice myself getting new clients who become really loyal to me, because I do feel like you said, I'm really consistent with things. Like, I am going to schedule you and do your hair in a way that like you're gonna come back to me, but you're not gonna feel like you have to come back to me kind of thing. And my clients are on a really good, like, let's call it a yearly schedule, where they're getting like 1 or 2 full colors a year. We're just talking color here, but 1 or 2 full colors a year, and then they're coming in for like little touch-ups in between. One, I feel like it's just like they feel like I'm obviously not nickel and diming them, because they're coming in for a toner appointment in between their appointments, and so they're not having to get a blonde every time, and their hair is staying looking really good, and I'm not just like making them come in every 6 weeks, fry their hair off, take their money, whatever. So one, I think the trust with that. 2, I think that sharing your success, like my social media definitely has a big thing to do with it. My clients love to see me level jumping. They love to see me like sharing my knowledge and information in the salon. And honestly, they love to see my personal life. That is like a big thing. Like, your clients want to connect with you as a person. And I've come to realize that over time, honestly, especially when I got married. Like, when I got engaged and married, I feel like a lot of my clients got even closer to me. Like, if you go look at my page, my wedding stuff has like 10 million times more traction than anything else on my page. Because people just like love to see you like living your life when they know you in one certain like environment, you know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like it's the trust with my clients, the like consistently keeping them on a schedule so their hair is just looking good at all times. And then also what I see a lot too is a lot of stylists kind of scaring their clients away for one of 2 things. One, I feel like a lot of the times if they want to change something, their stylist is like, oh my God, no, you can't do that. Like, sorry. And I'm like, if you want to come to me and change your hair and you know that it's going to be a process to get back and we're on the same page with everything, like, I am still just your hairstylist and I will do what you're paying me to do. Right. Unless I think your hair is going to fall off, like, I'll tell you that and we won't do it. Yeah. But in general, like, I'm going to let you go copper and then go back to red eventually, like, or go back to blonde eventually.
You're like, yeah, copper to red, totally. That's pretty easy. Yeah.
You're like, I would do that too.
Totally
but yeah, like, you can go back blonde eventually. It's just like, just know it's going to take me some time. I'm still going to keep you on that consistent schedule. Yeah. But I definitely think connections with your clients is a huge one. Because like I said, they like to see it. They like to see everything that I'm doing. Like, yeah. I have clients who like will recognize my husband out when I'm not even with him. They've never met him. They're like, oh my God, I saw your husband here. I'm like, how do you know that?
It's so funny because like back in the day, like when I first started doing hair and I first started kind of like building a clientele and getting busy, social media wasn't really super hot yet.
Yeah.
Not for, I mean, it was cool like for personal stuff only, right? But like nobody was posting their work or their business or anything on social.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because sometimes I would see clients out at the grocery store or whatever, and they would look at you like it's like little kids when they see their teacher in the wild, you know, and they're like, whoa, you like leave school? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it was so funny, but I feel like now clients really want to see that. And like they want to see that you're an actual person and you have a life like outside of the salon. Totally. And that honestly helps them connect to their hairstylist more and like build those stronger relationships. So yeah.
I have clients see me post a personal thing and they'll respond to me and then we'll just start chatting and they're like, oh my God, I have to book. Yeah. And then they book. Like it just happens that way. I also just was telling someone I don't use my TikTok as I should, like that. I use my Instagram for my business.
It's okay. You're a millennial.
Exactly. I am a millennial. Okay. I do not use TikTok for things. Like I will occasionally make like a funny video in the salon, mostly because my assistants are all like 12 years old. So they'll like make one and then we'll put it up there together, whatever. I just had a person DM me on TikTok and was like, hi, I just moved to Reno. Can I make an appointment?
That's so
I was like, this is crazy. Like people just, and that is not from my skill that she is seeing. There is none of my skill on TikTok. Yeah. It's literally just my personality just and like me like being weird. Yeah. And she's like, I'll book that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
she's like, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I think that obviously, you know, social media is just crazy in this industry. And I think it can help attract like future assistants and things like honestly, a lot of the assistants that come through the salon or that apply and that we interview, they find us on social media. So, anyway, I just wanted to kind of go over a lot of your success, and obviously I've been on that journey with you since the start, since you started out as my assistant, and it's been really cool to kind of see you. Honestly, at this point, you've outgrown me and where I ever was, which is really cool. So, I don't know. I just wanted to have you talk about that journey, talk about some of those struggles and how you overcome them, because like all your coworkers say, you do make it look really easy, but I know where you started and I've been like alongside you for the whole journey. So I know it's not just like, at this point it's become second nature. And I think that's why it looks
totally
easy.
Yeah. I always like to tell this like super quick little thing that James, my husband, said to me when I was level jumping. I think it was from a 3 to a 4 because it was basically just one of the times that I was really trying to like bust my butt to get this promotion, and I was double booking and I didn't have an assistant yet and all this stuff, whatever. Like that was so hard. I'm sure I made it look easy at certain points. Like I'm not trying to minimize that though. It's really hard. You have to like commit to consistency and really like just focus in for like a month, focus in for 3 months, like do it like that and just get yourself really honed in on whatever goals that you set for yourself. But I remember coming home from one of those times that I did finally get the promotion that I had been working so hard towards for like months at a time. And James said something like, I am so proud of you. You're never doing that again. Because it was just like, so I like picked up an extra day. I was like just double booking by myself the whole time. I came home every day, just like,
like overstimulated.
Yeah. And he's like, but honestly, since then, I've obviously jumped through harder hoops and bigger levels, but it's gotten easier from then because I've figured out what works for me and how to balance it kind of thing.
I think it's kind of like they say, like you have a solid foundation, you've put up the walls. Now it's like throw on the roof shingles at this point, and that's it. You know what I mean? So there is still growth happening. Such a construction
wife over there.
I know. Yeah. My husband's like blue collar man, if you can't tell. But yeah, so I think, I just thought all of that would be really fun to share with our listeners and kind of hear a perspective from, you know, someone who is a commission stylist, who is doing that 6-figure, take home income in a commission setting. Also, she only works 32 hours a week. I just want to throw that out there. So she really is achieving a lot. And it's pretty incredible. So I thought having them kind of hear your side of things and how you got there would be really, really a cool segment.
Yeah. If anyone's struggling with their assistants, let me know. Hit me up. We can help you.
Definitely. We can definitely help with that. We have been through 8 of them on your end. I've been through many more.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I think we'll close it out there, but I thank you, Kenzie, for joining us and sharing your story. Always a pleasure to chat with you. And then we will see you guys back in a few weeks for some more fun and exciting beauty business topics.
Yay. Love it. Bye, guys.